Hi there, good morning and welcome. My name's Jason, and the plant that I have to share with you right now is called Salvia gregii. This is the variety called Royal Bumble. It's also referred to as the Royal Bumble Mountain Sage. It's a pretty cool plant, and for a number of different reasons I'm about to share with you. But this plant, it's right behind me. It has these beautiful red blooms, as you can see. It's covered in these little blooms, and it'll get more and more of them. It's a relatively new planting here. But yeah, this is a really neat plant for a number of reasons. It is a perennial evergreen shrub that grows to about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, and it's just about ever blooming. In other words, it's pretty much blooming most of the year. You'll want to cut it back to the size and shape that you desire. I wouldn't cut it back by more than a third to a half of the size of the plant at any given point in time. But, regular once in a while pruning is really, really helpful. This plant is, it provides a year-round color spot because of the red flowers that it's constantly blooming. It attracts your native bees and hummingbirds and butterflies, like insects that like the nectar of the flowers. That red color really attracts those hummingbirds. As far as the cold tolerance, this plant's cold tolerant, 15 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it has a really nice cold tolerance. As far as the light this plant wants, it wants sun to part shade. The sun hasn't completely risen yet, so right now it's in shade with a little bit of dappled sun on it. But this plant, you don't want to put it in too much shade, so sun to part shade. As far as watering requirements, it's low water needs. It's drought tolerant. If you do have a little bit more water that you give it, though, that's okay too. It's not a drought tolerant plant that can't handle some water. As far as a regular irrigation schedule, but it is a lower water needs plant. As far as fertilization, it gets most of its nutrients from the soil, so all you really need to do is a fall mulch would really help, and the plant should get all of the nutrients it needs from that. As far as the soil, you want to plant this in loam to sand or amended clay. Make sure if you have clay soil that you have some drainage. As far as the soil pH, it's very adaptable, anywhere from acidic to neutral. So it's an adaptable plant as far as acidity. As far as best time to plant, I'd recommend planting this in the fall. That's a really great time to plant a lot of your perennials. This is a really adaptable plant though. Also a great time to plant it is in the spring. And also kind of year round, depending on where you have it placed in your garden and the extremities as far as the heat and cold. But it's a pretty tough plant and it's very adaptable. It's also resistant to deer and gophers. It's not a favorite choice. Salvia in general are not favorite choices by either deer or gophers. So if you have either or both of those, this is a great selection that will provide you lots of flowers. I also recommend if you have vegetables or edibles, it's great to plant this plant nearby because it has so many blooms. The blooming is so consistent that it helps attract a lot of beneficial pollinators to your crops. If you have a spot that you want color year round, it's a great choice for that as well. But yeah, propagation, you can propagate it almost any time of year via semi-hardwood cuttings. Semi-hardwood cuttings. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty awesome plant for a number of different reasons. But yeah, that's this once again, as you can see, this is it's this beautiful green. I mean, it's a nice year-round appeal plant. So once again, this is Salvia gregii, variety Royal Bumble, also known as the Royal Bumble Mountain Sage. And my name's Jason. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for updates on my newest videos. And once again, thanks so much for hanging out.